And action.
Okay, thanks for coming. So we're just going to start in now and talk first about page 1 of the handout, which is how to put together two data sets. We're going to work with the data set with which everyone's quite familiar, the Nakamura data sets from 1968 and from 2002. Downloadable from my website or from VSpace, depending on how you want to download it. Everyone has it already on his or her computer. So the first command we're going to learn today is the append command. And instead of working through a STATA example, what I wanted to do first was to just graphically show you, to see if this works better, let me know if this does work better than me using STATA, to explain to you exactly what we're doing today and how it's happening. Excuse me. So we're combining two data sets, the 1968 data set and the 2002 data set. As you know, the data set contains one variable, the age of the mother, and all these numbers here on the side simply refer to the observation number. STATA doesn't show it, but it knows that there's the first observation, the second observation, the third, so on down to the nth observation. So that's just for graphical representation purposes. So what we're doing today is combining these two files using what's called the append command into one big data file, which we'll just call nat combined. So what we're going to do is take all these observations and basically stack them one on top of the other. So we would have age mom, and STATA doesn't necessarily do this in order, but let's take the first 4 observations from each data set and stack them together. So 12 years old, 37, 25, 27, 15, 28, and 30. So all the append command does is take one data file and stack it on top of the other data file to combine them all into one big thing like this. And you'll notice that there's one immediate problem, which is to say we have no way of distinguishing between observations from 1968 and observations from 2002. So the easy way to solve this is by adding another variable to the 1968 and to the 2002 data sets, called a dummy variable, which takes on the value 1, for instance, if the year is 2002, and 0 if the year is 1968. So let's think about what that would look like in creating a new variable. So I call it the year 2002 variable, which takes on the values 1 if it's from the 2002 data set, and 0 if it's from the 1968 data set. And all this does is create another column in the data, year 2002, and gives it a value according to, if it's from 1968 it has a 0 value, and if it's from 2002 it has a 1 value. So we can now see that there are distinguishing markers that then get pushed into the combined data file in the year 2002 variable. So now we have a way of distinguishing between the two things on the data set. And just to remember about the dummy variable, set it to 0, 1. Set it to 1 if the condition matching the name is the year 2002. Yes, it is. 1. Is it not 2002? No. 0. So this is just a simple way to keep track of data. And after you've done that, input the next column. When you append it, the year 2002 thing will appear on the other side. So this is just a way of sort of drawing out what it is we're going to do with STATA right now. Any questions before we move on about this hand-drawn process, low-tech? So let's run it and see what happens. Everybody open up STATA and let's follow along, per usual. So Christina correctly informs me that I wasn't completely truthful when I said if you set the working directory to always stay that way, because it restarts. So if you have STATA version 10, if you have STATA version 9, ignore this. Go to File, change working directory, and change back again to the QM data folder.
You have to do that every time?
Christina says yes, and one day I'm going to find out and inform you of a way that you can set it permanently. But you can't right now.
Maybe it's just my system.
The other thing is, if you haven't typed update all in this STATA recently, do that. Not this time, but after this session, before you STATA again. I've been notified again by Christina that there are some problems with the graphing mechanism if all components aren't updated. So she had some trouble with that, really messed her up on the homework problem set. So if you have that problem where a component doesn't seem to be working for no reason, hit update all, and then write in update swap to make sure you get the new STATA engine in there after the update, which is actually problem research from computers, by the way. So we're here now. So let's do what I just diagrammed on the board and walk through this process. So the first thing to do is to open up whichever data file you see fit first. I'm going to do the 2002 data file first. So NAT 2002. And then we're going to move through and generate the first variable. And the first thing to notice is that if you specify this command without any conditional statements, without any if statements after it, it'll assign a value of 1 to every single observation in the data set. And I can prove that to you by just hitting list and showing you that it has actually applied to every single observation there. So you know it works. You haven't put any if conditional restrictors that you can just move through. So if you want to stop it, of course, hit the break command. So now we've changed this data. Now we changed this data set. So we want to save it. So save NAT 2002. I'll use _d to show that we've put in a dummy variable. And I already have it, so I forgot to put comma replace. And now we're going to do the same thing for the 1968 data file. So do the same thing. Open up the 1968 data file. Create a dummy variable with the opposite value. Year 2002 is no, so 2002 equals 0. Execute it if you want to check. Check using the list command. Looks like it worked fine. Save it using another separate data file name, comma replace.
On
yes?
mine, it's saying that data in memory will be lost if I did that.
That's right. So as you recall, before moving on to the second data set, you have to use the clear command
Right.
to clear everything from memory. So did you clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've saved the 2002 data file?
Yeah.
Okay. So working now?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. Save nat 2002. I'm sorry. Save nat 1968 _d replace. And now we're going to clear again. So we made the proper changes to both files. Now we're going to put them together. You can start with whatever file you want. I'll again start with the 2002 dummy variable data set. And now, there's nothing tricky about this command. Append using, same as we have with a lot of other files. It adds on, and now we've combined both data sets. Let's see if that's true. We have a lot of... It's probably combined everything, but it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with just the list command, because we'll just run all the way down in order with the 2002 data set on the top and the 1968 data set on the bottom. So now what I want to introduce to you is another descriptive command. It's the bysort command. So bysort, the command form is bysort variable name and then stata command. So stata is going to sort by the variable is going to sort the variable we specify by a particular variable, which is the emitted variable here, year 2002, and then it's going to list the results and group them together.
Well, how does it know to sort it by year 2002 if you don't tell it?
Right, I should have put in bysort. Oops. Yep.
I don't think you appended the right file.
Did I append it?
I think you appended 2002 to the 2002.
I completely think that's okay.
Sorry.
I think that's absolutely right. So let me just get back up there. There you go.
Oh, so you sort by age, Mom, and you get...
Yeah, and you get the other thing automatically.
Yeah.
So it's good you almost tricked me, and then I tricked myself, and then here we are now. So as you can see,